Because of the outbreak of Covid-19, even sports lovers need to wear a mask during exercise training to prevent the disease from spreading out. Instead of asking if there is any danger if we exercise with a mask on our face, I want to raise out another interesting questions in this video. Does wearing mask during exercise boost our training effects, like what the elevation training mask does? In case you do not know what an elevation training mask is, elevation training mask is a type of product to restrict the amount of oxygen in the air that the user can breathe in. Producers claim that wearing this kind of mask can simulate the high mountain environment with a low concentration of oxygen in the air. That's why it is called the elevation mask. Because of the restriction of oxygen intake by wearing the mask, our respiratory muscles, which is the muscle we use for breathing, need to work harder to increase our oxygen intake back. From time to time, the strength and endurance of these muscles can be trained. We can therefore breathe in oxygen more efficiently. As a result, our skeletal muscles can have a better oxygen supply to work more efficiently. I was thinking that the surgical mask that we wear for lowering the risk of virus transmission also has the same functions with the elevation training mask, which is restricting the oxygen intake of the user. So, does wearing surgical mask also increase the effectiveness of our training, like what the elevation mask does? Unfortunately, wearing surgical mask doesn't increase our training efficiency. To be more precise, neither surgical mask nor the elevation training mask help us upgrade our sport performance. In fact, the mask can really stress our respiratory muscles, just like what the manufacturers claim. Nevertheless, the efficiency to breathe in oxygen into our lungs is not the most important factor to determine our sport performance. Instead, how efficient our muscles can utilize the oxygen to generate energy is the dominant factor for sport performance. Let's look at the analogy below. Let's say there is a car racer who wants to upgrade the performance of his racing car. He put all his focus on his petrol tank, because he thinks that the supply of the petrol into the tank determines its final performance. In order to make sure the supply of the petrol into the tank is efficient, he installed a device to automatically fill in petrol into the tank from time to time. However, he totally ignored to upgrade the car engine. What's going to happen? I think all of you have the answer. The performance of the car won't change much, because the main factor that determines the performance of the car is not how effective the petrol is supplied into the tank, but how efficient the engine can utilize the fuel to generate energy. In other words, the engine takes the role to move the car forward, but not the petrol tank. Now, we look back to how our energy system works when we're exercising. Oxygen acts like the petrol, and lung acts as the petrol tank. Simply train up our efficiency to supply more oxygen into our lung. It's same as only focus on the supply of petrol into the tank. It doesn't change our performance much. On the other hand, muscle is different. It acts like the engine. Training up our muscle to utilize oxygen more efficiently is same as upgrading a stronger engine which can use the fuel more efficiently. Therefore, train up our muscles to use the oxygen more effectively is the true factor that upgrades our sport performance. Because muscle itself is the engine of our body, which takes the role to generate the energy for our physical activities, just like what the engine does in the car. To increase the efficiency of our muscle to use oxygen, what we need to do is keep the intensity and volume of our training at a high level. Only by doing this can we really stress the metabolic system to use oxygen more efficiently during exercise. Nevertheless, wearing a mask during exercise training will limit both of the intensity and volume of our training, because the restricted intake of oxygen makes us feel harder and more exhausted to sustain the training. We therefore lose the chance to stress our metabolic system when we're wearing masks in exercise training. Therefore, wearing either a surgical mask or elevation training mask will not provide any benefits to your training. It may also limit your training effects. But under the pandemic disease, face mask is still needed to lower the chance of virus transmission. I'll talk more about what should we pay attention to when we really need to wear a mask during exercise training in the next video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you like this video. Thanks for watching.